My brother had the disease, and we didn't find out until he was over 2 years old. So about the age that Becca is now is when my brother was diagnosed. And I knew that my mom was a carrier and that I was a carrier because I suffer just like he does. I drink over 2 gallons of water a day. My mom was a very young mom, and so they just went from doctor and doctor and doctor. My mom got to the point and she just said, look, if you think someone else can do this better, please take him. Give him to someone that you think can be a better parent, because all these doctors were judging her and telling her that she's doing it wrong and she's killing her kid. And she's like, just take him.
Early on, I'd met her family and had met her brother. And she told me about Dustin and his disease, his rare disease he had. And Emily mentioned she had it, but obviously when you look at Emily and looked at her brother, they were different.
One of the things that happens when you're not diagnosed right away with this disease is you get a lot of brain damage, because your brain is constantly hydrated and dehydrated. So you have that shrinking and swelling all the time. And so my brother was not ever normal, so to speak. He was very ill, physically and mentally, his whole life. My brother passed away last March, and he was 31 years old, and he died from kidney failure as a result from this disease. I never wanted to have kids because I never wanted to pass it on.
It worried me, but not so much, because Emily is so strong and she is a wonderful mother.
I am so happy, I guess, that I changed my mind and I just went for it and decided, okay, we're gonna have a family and I'm not gonna let it scare me anymore. And so at birth, we had him tested for the AVPR2 gene, and he was diagnosed at 5 weeks old. And I remember the day so vividly. We were at the pediatrician's office and he's like, we have your results. And I just had the strongest face in the office, but as soon as we got out to the car, I just crumbled.
The thought always crossed my mind. Oh my gosh, is Becca gonna go down that path per se, and end up like Dustin?
He has a feeding tube. Because of his disease, he has a really easy gag reflex. And so anytime he tries to eat, he pretty much just throws up right away. He throws up all the time. And when he was a little baby, I just literally spent my whole day like, okay, I need to take another shower, because he just threw up 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. And these kids throw up all the time because it's their way of trying to get rid of salt in the body. That's one of the reasons why he was so small. So the first year of his life before we got his feeding tube, it was just like, my kid is so tiny, my kid is so small, how do I make him grow? But I gotta make sure he drinks all this water so that his brain's healthy, so he doesn't, suffer mentally either, and that his brain is sound. And so you have all these things that you're juggling, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's the most important thing right now? And so I chose his brain instead of his size, and he was really tiny for a long time. So we make all of his food ourselves, and it's what's called a blended diet. He gets 4 of these meals a day. So the more salt he has, the more water he has to drink. The more water he has to drink, the less food he can get in his stomach. So it's a very delicate balance, yeah.
Oh, the cow. Where's the cow go?
Where's the cow go? Good job.
Being my first child and being Emily's first child as well, I didn't know any better. So all the effort we put into Beckett, I think this is normal. He's a normal child. For me, changing 20, 24 diapers in a 24-hour period is normal. When we go through 600 diapers a month is normal.
Good job, Beckett.
The March of Dimes is the foundation that did the research in the 1970s so that we know all that we do know now about NDI. The university in Washington paired up with the March of Dimes, and they studied these boys who all have NDI. And so as children, they went in there because they had this rare disease and studied their urine output. The March of Dimes did that, and studied their sodium and their food and what they ate and how to help them. So I'm really excited to bring to light the fact that the March of Dimes does rare diseases, and they do a lot more research than just small, early children.
Put your feet up. Good
There you go, big boy.
Any disease that affects a baby it can be debilitating, it can be devastating to a family. And hope and morale can be as low as it can possibly be. And organizations like the March of Dimes can bring hope not only to that child, but to the family in general.
The March of Dimes, it's a wonderful organization that spends 76% of their funds on doing research for rare diseases and premature babies, so I feel really good about that.
That this isn't a debilitating disease, that you can thrive from it, and just getting the information out there. And again, with the March of Dimes, I think is an excellent platform to do that, is to give people hope and to help educate other people in this disease.
My ultimate goal for him is to realize you are normal. You can do anything you want to do. You just have to drink and pee more than the average person. My brother would be so happy. He never met Beckett. He would be so happy to know that his life and his suffering has made it so that my son can be healthy. I'm so sad that he never got to meet him because he just loved kids so much. And he was so excited to be an uncle. So, hi buddy.